YouTubers, have I got a surprise for you today? So, after a little bit of a break, I skipped up to episode 5 pretty fast on Music Delusions or whatever, my new podcast, videocast, where I record a cover song or play a cover song, and then I talk about it, or I beforehand and or afterhand kind of talk about what the song means or what it means to me. This is an interesting one today, especially coming from me. But I got the idea, of course, from Dustin Kensrue. Hey, listen, all the greatest artists have always gotten some of their ideas from others. Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci, all of them. They've all got some of their little tweaks and things from other people, so that's what makes an artist an artist. Anyway, so obviously my hero, Mr. DK, Dustin Kensrue, when I went to see him with a friend of mine, and actually my mom, believe it or not, I'm seriously trying to get her off the Nickelback and the crappy shit on the radio, so I was like, Mom, look, you gotta come see this guy. He's good, he's legit. He's not part of Nickelback. He's good. There's good music out there, and I don't know, I get inspired by it, and it makes me angry because people listen to that crap, and it's just like so sad. Like, there's good music out there, you don't have to do that to yourself. You know what I mean? Like if there was no music out there at all that was like enticing or interesting, then I get it. Like, maybe that's all there is in the world. But dude, if that's all you can find and consider rock or heavy, that's sad. You're not looking hard enough. You are not looking hard enough, and you're not hanging out with the right kind of people. Anyway, for lapse of my judgment of bad rock and roll, radio rock, this is a cover of Miley Cyrus's Wrecking Ball. When I went to see Dustin Kensrue, he usually always does a couple covers of Thrice, and he'll do a lot of his original. He was touring for his second solo album, Carry the Fire, which first episode back when was, back to back, right? So this is going to be episode 6, by the way, 6 people. And this is going to be Miley Cyrus, a cover of Wrecking Ball, stripped down acoustically. I think is a really powerful song, to be honest with you. And you know what? I never had an issue with her, and it's not like I hate pop music, it's just not for me. But I saw a video of her hanging out with Laura Jane Grace, which many of you would know as the former Tom Gable, lead singer of Against Me. So when I saw her hanging out with Laura Jane Grace, who has recently obviously come out of the closet as the transgender that she, needed to do, I was amazed. I was like, why are they playing together? How do they know each other? What's going on? And then I dug a little farther, and Miley Cyrus is actually a pretty good person. I'm the first to say it. I'm sticking up for her, not just as a musician, but she took a ton of money. She didn't have to do this. And I don't know if it has to do with her. Maybe she's bisexual. Maybe she has had some friends that are, or maybe it's just one of her really strong passions. But to see her support any of my punk roots, which would be Against Me, she basically was setting up an LGBTQ, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, and queer protective house, in case someone wants to commit suicide or harm themselves or hurt somebody, or most importantly, hurt themselves. There's been a lot of things on the radio and news, and the statistics are just staggering with transgender. The suicide rate is just deplorable. It's sad. I mean, in this country, it's one thing in Iran where you can get hung for having a homosexual relationship. I would expect that kind of crap out there. But this is America. Come on, guys. We need to step up the plate a bit. Like an Against Me song where Laura Jane Grace says, sleeping beside me with a gun. What does she say? Sleeping with a gun beside you in bed. She's talking about how she's has to sleep with a... That's so sad. And I bet, as Tom Gable, he probably never... But he even said, if he did not come out, if he did not do this, he was going to take his life. That's how important it was. Does that mean anything to anybody? His happiness, Luckily, everybody was cool with it. No one cared. But that's for another day when we cover, an Against Me song. We'll get really into him. So or her now. So my whole thing here is that I heard Dustin Kensrue at that night at the concert cover this, and it went over really, really well. So I got the chords, and I figured I would give it a try for episode 6. So we're getting on 5 minutes here of me rambling, so without further ado, let's get into Miley Cyrus, Wrecking Ball. We chained our hearts in vain. We jumped, never asking why. We kissed, I fell under your spell of love. No one could deny. Don't you ever say I just walked away. I will always want you. I can't live a lie, running for my life. I will always want you. I came in like a wrecking ball. I never did so hard in love. That all I ever was to break your walls. All you ever did was wreck me. Yeah, you wrecked me. I put you high up in the sky, and now you're not coming down. It slowly turned, you let me burn, and now we're ashes on the ground. Don't you ever say I just walked away. I will always want you. I can't live a lie, running for my life. I will always want you. I came in like a wrecking ball. I never did so hard in love. Ever would break your wall. Ever did was wreck me. Yeah, you wrecked me. I never meant to start a war. I just wanted you to let me in. Instead of using force, I guess I should have let you win. I never meant to start a war. I just wanted you to let me in. I guess I should have let you in. Don't you ever say I just walked away. I will always want you. I came in like a wrecking ball. I never hit so hard in love. All I wanted was to break your walls. All you ever did was wreck me. I came in like a wrecking ball. Yeah, I just closed my eyes and swore. Let me crash and blaze and fall. All you ever did was wreck me. Yeah, you wrecked me. Yeah, you wrecked me. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Dustin Kensrue's cover of Miley Cyrus from Trevor Braukman, also known as Blue Delusion, covering Miley Cyrus. It's a really great song, and I've just started kind of toying with it. So this is literally like my 5th or 6th time playing it, so it is what it is. But look, I really wanted to get episode 6 up, and I thought this was a perfect talking point. You know, there's a lot of pop songs that turn over really well into punk or indie songs. Me First and the Gimme Gimmes, anyone? If you don't know who Me First and the Gimme Gimmes are, definitely check them out. They are a like punk rock supergroup, like the guy from Lagwagon, the lead singer of NoFX. One of the guys from Swingin' Utters is the guy that sings, which is so different, but he's got a great voice. All they've done for like 10 years now is do covers, but they make them punk. So they'll cover anything from like, I don't know, like some of the craziest like 80s music or like dance songs or country songs. They even did a Japanese album. Anyways, these are all cover songs, but they just make them punk. They switch them around. So instead of playing, like a nice little G, it's going to be this is a G, this is a G, this is a G. See the punk influence there a bit. A little bit different instead of... Came in like a wrecking ball. Anyway, so I'd like to hear anybody's, take on that. Like, why is it that pop songs, like really, really popular songs, are so easy to transcend into a punk song or like an indie rock song or something like this, where like Thrice, like this, when you listen to the way, especially Dustin Kensrue does it, it sounds like a Thrice song. It could have been an acoustic version of a Thrice song. Like, he even builds up to the end where he's kind of really getting into it, which I kind of tried to do, and we'll see how it sounds. But like I said, it's a work in progress, but I'm trying to get there, and I think it's really cool. I think it's something different, and I'm always looking for something different. I'm 32 years old. I've been to every freaking concert. I've seen so many bands. I've listened to so much music. I'm looking for new, and that's one of the reasons I still listen to Thrice, is because they keep me interested. People say I'm obsessed, and every album they've introduced to me has been different, including Dustin Kensrue's solo. And then he releases a cover song album where he does a Miley Cyrus Wrecking Ball, and when I saw that live, holy crap, man, and he can still get the crowd going. That's a performer. With that said, we're getting on almost 12 and a half minutes, so that's it, boys and girls, for episode 6. This was Miley Cyrus cover of Wrecking Ball by Dustin Kensrue, but really by Blue Delusion or Trevor Braukman, whichever you prefer. Still kind of working on my new album. It's taking a long time because there's a lot going into it, but anyway, more later on that. But anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you guys liked it. Leave some messages in the reply box. I have gotten none so far, and I don't know if people let me know anything. I'd really, I know where I need to work on music, and I know where I need to work on my singing and stuff like that. But more importantly, let's talk about this. Why do you guys think it's so easy to have pop music turn into punk? Like that. And that's why Me First and the Gimme Gimmes were just so brilliant in the early 90s. They caught on to that. I don't think anyone really caught on it. These are the same chords, so just speed them up real fast and play them real hard and heavy, and people are going to fucking like it. People that like NoFX and Strung Out and Noise for Name, and people like me. So anyway, thanks guys. Appreciate it. Have a good day now. 20